Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Kirti Agrawal and I am doing internship at China Three Georges University. I have cleared my FMGE exam, which is a medical licensing exam for India with a score of 223 with good planning and strategies. Today I'm here to share you my experiences, all my planning strategies for the last 7 to 6 months I have used in order to clear this exam with a good score. Also, I am going to divide this video into 5 major parts. The first part will be telling you how I divided my months. Second part will be telling you about how I divided my day, how I decided that what are the things that I have to do in a day. Also, the third part will be telling you about my question strategies and my GT strategies. The fourth part will tell you how I learned my notes well. Also, the fifth part is the ending part in which you will be learning. You will see that I have shared you the resources which I used and also the teachers from whom I prefer to. Let's now talk about how I divided my months. See, this was a monthly plan which I created accordingly. Like 6 to 7 months, I was thinking in the start that my exam will be on 6th of July, but the exam got shifted and it was about 26th of July, so I got 20 days extra. Also, the months which I divided were like something like this. Like the first read I gave about 3 months, and it can go to you about 3.5 months. The second read went for me was 1.5 to 2 months. The third read went for 20 to 25 days, and the subsequent reads kept on decreasing for me. Also, I would like to suggest you that in the first read, please fix the source and fix the teachers from whom you are going to study, because once you do that, the next reads become a little bit easy for you. Even if you change the teachers, it is fine, and please use that notes for the next reads as well. Also, the last reads, actually not the reads, but some days before the exam, this was what I decided. What I decided was I took whatever content I don't remember in my fifth read, and by the sixth read, I only did those contents which I don't remember. Those I took in a form of screenshot, so it became like a flashcard to me, and I literally swiped, and it became easy for me to revise whatever I haven't learned properly. Also, my suggestion to every one of you who is watching the video, please do not shorten your content until the fourth read. Please read all your rapid revision notes from top to the bottom. Also, I have seen that all the rapid revision notes, which especially of Marrow and Preparada, both are more than enough. They have taken all the content and all the PYTs very seriously and explained them very well. How my day looked like and how I divided my day on the priority basis, that what I have to do in that particular day. First, in the morning, first thing what I did was revising whatever content I have done one day back. And this was not like reading notes for me, but I was doing an active recall and active revision of whatever I have learned. Like I used to ask myself some questions, that what are the things that I have learned, I remember, and if I don't, I just watch whatever, I would just see from my notes. The next thing what I used to do was solving a short test. That short test can be any, just make a view like 20 to 30 questions, that will be enough, and that should not be from or the subject that you are studying right now or you have studied previously. It should be like 4 or 5 subjects back. And after the short test, I used to have my lunch, and after my lunch, either I used to watch videos for 6 to 7 hours, or I was solving questions for 3 to 4 hours. Now, what I used to do for videos was I used to watch the videos and see my notes respectively. If I find that there was some content which I don't remember, I used to go to the main videos and see those parts and come back to the rapid revision. Also, you can see that for the major subjects it's take a little bit longer period of time, and you can from 6 to 7 hours you can go to 7 to 8 hours of watching videos. If you are next, you should solve questions for 3 to 4 days, and this is very, very important for everyone. And when you are solving questions, I will be telling you my question schedule, how you have to actually do it. Also, remember this, that when you are solving questions, you are not solving questions of the subject that you are studying. It should always be a subject, one subject back. Like supposing you just studied surgery previous, was your previous subject, and right now you are studying OBGY, your obs and gynae. Now what you have to do in the video, at the time of watching videos, you will watch OBGY, but when you have to do questions, you have to solve surgery questions. In this way, you will be retaining surgery for a longer period of time. Also, whatever you have forgotten and you are trying to apply it will be your brain will be activated. Where did I study it and how I have to apply it. Next, what I used to do was, a very small part of my day was left, that was from 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. So, in this time, what I used to do was, this was my extra time. So, sometimes I was using it for solving the questions, and sometimes watching some videos on YouTube, like some passive revision. But also in this, I was having 30 minutes of seeing the test that I solved on that particular day. And for this, I used a test notebook where I used to mention whatever topics I have studied, like whatever the things that I don't remember from that test, and what are my mistakes which I am doing. Sometimes you can even put those confusing parts and topics which you are not able to learn very properly. And this short test book notebook you have to revise when you are doing a review of the last day. This is how I am very confident about this part, that is solving questions, and this was a game changer for me. Also, this I divided according to the number of reads I was doing. So, in the first read, I decided to solve my Q bank. Also, my custom modules for those subjects, those were my minor subjects, and for those which I cannot solve the Q bank. For Q bank, four major subjects, that is your surgery, OBGY, PSM, and also and medicine. These are the four subjects you must solve Q bank, and you can even add ophthalmology and ENT. The second read, what I planned was solving NEET PG PYQs. These NEET PG PYQs are really very important. Also, when you are solving these NEET PG PYQs, do see the content below. In the application, they give the answer and the explanation, because what happens is these topics, from this topic, anything can be asked from up or down. Or in the next, like whenever I used to solve, like 2020, in 2021, I used to see some question from that same part. So if you are solving them, please do add those contents which you feel like, yeah, this can be a question which can be asked in the forward, in the from the same topic. So you can add it in your notes. No, your notes is not going to get extended, but this will be good when you will be preparing, and these topics will make you feel a little bit more stronger. After that, my third read, I planned to solve the FMG PYQs. Same for my request for all PYQs is, please do add those content in your main notes. But for your Q bank, for your custom modules, you don't have to add those contents. You just have to see whatever are the answers from your main notes. The fourth and the fifth read, I just revised my bookmarks. For these bookmarks, what I tell you is, please don't bookmark those contents which you have already added in your notes. Bookmark those questions which were your silly mistakes. Basically, solving bookmarks are like solving those questions again. So you have to avoid doing your silly mistakes. By fourth and fifth read, you can just go through the bookmarks either in the mode just of revising, or you can solve those questions again. After this, I will like to share you my GT strategies. For GTs, I started solving GTs after my second read. That is, from the third read, I started that. In this GT, what I did was, every Saturday and Sunday, I was solving 150 question. That is part 1 and part 2 of FMG questions, FMG GTs. Every time I was solving these questions, I make sure that I do mark those which were the guessed questions, because now when you are going to review these GTs, what you have to do is please see with whatever wrong questions you did and also see the guessed ones, because when you are seeing the guessed ones, what happened at the right now you will be able to solve, and maybe you did it correct by guess, but at the time of exam if something similar to this is asked, you might get confused and do something wrong. Now what you do is the test notebook which I was mentioning you, this in this test notebook you have to write all the short tests which you are solving and also the GT questions. This short test notebook should contain only those type of questions which are very confusing, which you have made a mistake a lot many number of times. Also, those questions which you find that this is very unique type of questions, those you can add. And before you write in your test notebook, what you have to see is you have to see the answer from your notes itself and read that topic once again. After this, I will tell you that when you are solving GTs, at certain point of time, you will be finding a lot of similarities between all the GTs that you are solving. So what you have to do is change the application from whichever application you are solving. What, like for me, primary source was marrow, so I after I was used to the marrow GTs, I went to prep ladder, dams, as well as cerebellum. I solved their free GTs. Also this will give you, like, there will be certain difference in all the GTs that you are solving. There will be about 10 to 15% of questions that will be from different topics, so now you will be preparing these 10-15% of different topics as well. Also, what I did was, after I got bored of this, I also solved NEET PG GTs. Yeah, the NEET PG GTs are, you feel like it is very difficult, but there is nothing like that. Only the thing is, if you know the topics very well, you will be able to solve that as well. Now, what my first aim was, like, if I'm preparing 150 questions, I'm preparing, like, I'm giving myself a practice of 200 questions. I'm giving myself thinking capacity to solve 200 as well, because at the time of exam it is so much stressful that 150 feels like you are not doing 150 but more than that. Also, this will give you a sitting habit. Like for 150 questions you are sitting for 2.5 hours, but for 200 questions you have to sit for 3 hours. At the time of exam, what happens is you are going to the center and sitting at that place half an hour or 1 hour before the paper starts, so you have to make yourself habituated to sit for 3 hours continuously. Now let's talk about how did I learn my notes very well. This is a very difficult task for every one of us because of a huge content that we have in all the 19 subjects. First, prioritize those subjects, the clinical subjects, the preclinical subjects, and also some FMT and pediatrics. All the minor subjects you can do, like, very in a very short period of time, do only the PYQs and or PYTs, and you can see the importance on YouTube as well. 5 learning strategies which I used was, first, I used to draw pictures if it is possible, because drawing pictures made me learn very well. Sometimes what I used to do is, when I'm studying, if suppose first topic is about the labor positions, the second topic is about all the maneuvers. So what I used to do is, I used to go back when I'm studying the maneuvers, I go back and ask myself questions for the previous topic. If I'm able to retain that better, then I will be retaining it for a future, for a longer period of time. The third strategy which I used for learning was writing my preclinical subjects in my clinical subjects and my clinical subjects into preclinical subjects. You might feel that again I am adding too many content, but no, it is not like that. You just use your pencil and you can write on those part, or if you are using a PDF notes, then you can use something which is not that much highlighted, and you can read it if you feel like, okay, I want some link, and otherwise even if you don't, then it's fine. But what you do is, when you are going to do your subsequent reads and revisions, please do read that content as well, because you are doing the same thing two times, and that will make you remember very well. Also, this integration part, you won't be able to do it in your first and the second read. By the third read, you will be able to understand that these subjects are linked to each other, so I should study these subjects and these topics together. What I did is, for me, medicine, for studying medicine, I have to study physiology, pathology, pharmacology, and sometimes even biochemistry. Also, for surgery, I did anatomy and anesthesia, orthopedics. Orthopedics was kind of linked with them, and forensic a little bit. For doing OBGY, I used to study pediatrics with it, and for PSM, I was doing microbiology in my third read. And all the small subjects like ENT, Optha, I was keeping it as extra ones. But later I realized that ENT and Optha are also important. So in my fourth read, I put ENT, Optha, Derma, and all the like patho, pharma, and parts of microbiology and biochemistry before I studied medicine. So if you keep on integrating these subjects, this will basically make you understand the things very well. Especially all your preclinicals make a foundation for your clinical subjects. If you have a good foundation, then even clinical subjects will become a little bit easy for you. Like clinical subjects are more focused on the disease and how are you going to treat them. So for them, even you can have some learning tricks. Like I used was, if a patient comes to me, then the patient will give me these clinical signs and symptoms, and patient will be asked, I will be giving him these investigations, and what will be my investigation of choice, how if there is some cancer or something, how I'm going to stage it, and after I'm going to stage it, what are the treatment I'm going to give them. So this is how you can learn your clinical subjects, but for making preclinical strong, you use those techniques which I told you. So this is the end part of my video, and I'm going to share you two very important things. First is what should be your aim for every read, and second is what are the resources and the teachers that I preferred for every subject. I hope everyone liked this video, my strategies and my plans. Please do share in your comments if there are some strategies that work for you for the exam preparation. All the very best to all the future aspirants, and I hope you guys rock it and clear your exam within one go. Thank you so much for watching this video, and please stay tuned for the next video.